Another skip here. When you play the game for the first time, you see that skip. Not that easy.
Hello, horrible games. Welcome back to our 2022 event, raising money for To Write Love on Her Arms. I am your next host, and once again, I am Tempest Mask 1000. You might have heard me or seen me do a little Dragon Ball Evolution earlier, or caught me yesterday, but I'm back to bring you all the wonderful danejerus with his final run of this schedule. So I think I'll let him introduce what we're about to see here. Take it away, man.
Hello, everyone. Are you sick of me yet? Because you've been hearing and seeing me all weekend. Well, I'm back for one more run. Today, we're running a fairly recent game called Fashion Police Squad. This is a boomer shooter that you don't kill the enemies, you make them fabulous. So the whole premise behind the game's combat is like you start the game with a shotgun that's a paintball gun, and you find enemies that are like gray and like dull, and you shoot them full of color and you make them fabulous. You're not gonna see any of that because we are doing New Game Plus today, and we're starting with a weapon that is an insta-kill and it has infinite ammo, and we have a baseline speed boost and height boost to everything, and we start the game with a weapon that lets us clip through walls. This is going to be a very, very fast run. So we're going to hit rollout, and that's when time is going to start. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So starting in level 1, you're gonna see a big baseline speed boost, plus that weapon that lets us clip through walls also gives us a speed boost, so you're gonna see some fast movement. Brace yourself. Alright, this is where we meet the first enemy. We're not gonna fight him. We're just gonna go straight past. Now there's a way to get over there a little bit sooner, but it uses that enemy, and that enemy is inconsistent, and I've never been able to get him to cooperate with me, so we're going to do this the long way, which isn't that much longer. You're supposed to do a fight here, but we start with the belt, so we can exit out of here early. Now, if we just jump over this gate, we're out of bounds. It's just that easy in some cases. Now, this weapon we have, it's called the drip cannon, and so we're going to do our first instance of what we're going to call a drip clip. Why is it called the drip clip? Because of that. Ooh. Just that guy. That should be everybody. That's everybody. And that's level 1. It's very fast when you go out of bounds. Now going into level 2 is actually one of these funny situations where it's a little bit more broken than I think the developers expected, because you're supposed to go forward and then go to the left and navigate through the level. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We are going to start this level, turn around, go straight into this wall, and that's about 70% of the level done. Now, there's a faster way to do this part of the thing. However, it's extremely inconsistent, so we're going to do the slightly slower way of going around, and we're going to death warp up to here, and we are now in the last leg of the level. There's a lot of skipping stuff in this run, which is why it's so short. Now, this belt that we got is a grappling hook. It allows us to swing from these flagpole nodes. And it is a very nice grappling hook. Now, if we let go of the grappling hook at just the right angle, we can get a little speed boost, as evidenced here. It's a little speed boost, and this is the last fight of Mission 2. And I missed one. There we go. Alright, and now we are going to go to the first boss fight. The first boss of this game is called Hugo. Hugo Boss. I'm not joking. By the way, you're all going to have to... I don't have anybody on the couch with me, so everybody you in chat, you're going to have to respond to some of the questions that I ask as we go throughout this run. Alright, now, if any of you are fans of the music artist Sia... I will not apologize for that joke. Now, this is Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss. Now he unfortunately cannot be beaten the way that we did with the rocket launcher, so we have to fight him with our base standard weapons. However, there is a couple phases where we'll be able to use that rocket launcher item. So he's got the problem that he's very gray, so it's going to take a lot of paint to get rid of him. Now, if we were playing on New Game, we would actually siphon that for some energy, but on New Game Plus, we don't need to. So we're now in the second phase of the fight. That first phase is broken up by him bringing those guys out and holding them. Oop. And that is the first death of the run. And you'll notice how I died and then I immediately came back. That is because we were running on patch 1.0.5, which left a debug feature in for the developers that allows you to press T and instantly resurrect. So dying just straight up does not matter in this run. Okay, that should be everybody. We come back in. And this takes us to the last phase of the fight. And we just have to dump a lot of energy into this guy. The one funny thing is interesting about this last phase is actually slower on New Game Plus than it is on any percent. And the reason for that is because we would have siphoned some energy out of there and that could speed up this fight. However, it would have required taking a little bit extra time to build up the energy in the shotgun, and we just don't have that kind of time. So the whole fight is faster, net positive, but that particular phase is slower on New Game Plus, which is weird. Now in the overworld, we come back to the overworld after certain missions, and it's to let you change out your weapon, or not your weapons, but your outfit and your accessories, because different outfits and different accessories give you different perks that you can use. Now this mission is extremely linear and has no out of bounds, unfortunately. There is a skip that we can do that saves about 1 second. Oh, I missed the node. If I can get this skip. Nice. And we skipped having to open the fence. That saves about 2 seconds. It's not a big skip, but it's the only one we got, so we're gonna do it. And this is, I guess, technically a skip, although not much. Now, this is where we meet a new enemy named Karen. And Karen says things like, I would like to see the manager. I am not making this up. This is actually in the game. This game is full of memes. Now, I've been missing this jump lately for some reason. You can jump over that gate if you get the right angle. But I've been having trouble with it. All right. Now we have another fight here that is unfortunately, there's no way to skip it, but with a New Game Plus rocket launcher with infinite ammo, we don't need to worry about that. And this is where we meet another enemy. This is the German tourist, and his crime is socks with sandals. And so we obtain, normally, in like the regular gameplay, we obtain the sock gnome, and the sock gnome gives us the ability to throw basically it's a grenade, and it will steal his socks. You're going to say things... So I'm going to say things, and you're going to say to yourself, there's no way he's being serious. Yes, I am. I promise you I will not lie to you about anything in this run as we go throughout. And that's mission 4. You wear socks and sandals and you won't apologize. You should apologize, Blaine. All right. Moving on. Yes, all of the restaurants and businesses that you will see on the sides of buildings are parodies of other businesses. There's a cafe that sells kofifi. I am not making this up. All right, now mission 5 has a really, really big skip that is very, very easy to do in New Game Plus. So we're supposed to charge up the Fab Slap and then use that to you know, beat all these enemies. In any percent, we use that for a skip, but on New Game Plus, we can do this skip faster by jumping onto this invisible wall, and we just skipped about 80% of the level. Now, for whatever reason, I missed the platform I was aiming for. Now, there's a really, really, really big fight over down that alleyway, but we're not going to do that fight. We're instead going to jump... Hold on. We're going to jump onto this light, jump onto this light, jump over. All right, and that defeats that. Now, because we left these guys alive, this cutscene's going to break. You're not supposed to be able to move. However, the damage boosting from the CV bombs, yes, those guys drop CV bombs because they're looking for a job and their clothes are too tight. There's a lot of memes in this game. The cutscene kind of breaks, and so you're not supposed to be over here during this part of the cutscene. But that damage boost makes that happen. Alrighty, and that is the end of mission 5. Now we go into mission 6. This is where we normally obtain the drip cannon, the water gun that we are using. However, we already have it. Whoops. Oh god, don't want to do that. But because we already have this, we can actually skip a huge part of the level even before doing any big skips for the game. Because on any percent, you have to go out of your way to get this weapon. Well, on New Game Plus, you already have it, so you don't need to worry about going to get it. And that's going to chop down the time even more. Now, don't ask me how a belt is able to break metal vents. Don't ask questions like that. Don't ask those questions. Now, we get to here, we hit a checkpoint, we're going to reload checkpoint. The reason why is because those guys are going to keep attacking us if we don't. So we're going to get rid of them, jump across this gap, and we're going to place ourselves right up against this poster, and if everything goes well and the new Archvile enemy that is behind me does not screw this up, we go right through and skip a very large portion of the level. I actually don't even remember how much that skips, but it's a lot. And we're actually, we have so much of a speed boost that if you look over on the right side of the screen, you can see our character model is just a hand and the weapon. They didn't fully draw in the model, because why would you need to? All you can see is the hand and the gun. So you're gonna do a drip clip here. This one's kind of weird because you have to let go of forward, turn to the side, move to the side. It's a weird one. We're gonna launch another volley. Oh, that guy behind me. And that's the fight. Now, fun fact, you can actually get into the subway before you start the fight on New Game Plus because you're moving so fast, but if you do, you will soft lock the fight. Well, maybe not soft lock it, but it's very, very difficult to finish that fight being in that position, so it sort of makes sense to wait and stay out of there. Now, Mission 7 has what we call Interstellar Skip. This is going to skip a lot, but this is a very difficult trick, and I'm probably going to screw it up a couple times, so give me a second to focus. Yep. All right. So we do a drip clip through the train, and the train is not moving. The tunnel is moving, and that allows us to basically ride the train tunnel all the way to the end of the level. We'll try this again. There we go. And we're at the end of the level. And don't be mistaken, that saves many minutes of gameplay. Even on New Game Plus. Okay, that's a new one. I must have moved too far to the right. Yeah, you death warp back to the back up to that platform. I actually don't do that very often. I think that's the first time I've done that in a long time. And we're already at the second boss fight, Mission 8. Now, this is probably one of my favorite boss fights in like all of video gaming. This is a really, really good fight. I'm not going to tell you the name of the boss yet. That's a surprise. But it's a good one, believe me. All right, so we're going to run forward, hit interact. We're going to skip a bunch of cutscenes, and now we're going to fight the boss, whose name is XX underscore, was it XX underscore uwu underscore senpai underscore swagman underscore XX. Somebody in the official Discord referred to this guy as the Reddit boss. Which I thought was pretty funny. So, he has basically 2 health bars. The first health bar is depleted by using the drip cannon, and you can only deplete it with the drip cannon. And the second phase is where he starts to glitch out. Now, he has 3 phases during this sequence. Neon, Grayscale, and Large, and each of our weapons does a certain type of damage to him corresponding to whatever phase he's in. By the way, I need to ask everybody in chat, what is your favorite animal? What is everybody's favorite animal? See, ducks, giraffe, penguin, ladybug. See, my favorite animal is a snake! And so now we go to this phase. This is just a platforming section. And it's actually a little bit more difficult to do this section on New Game Plus because the speed boost that you get actually makes landing on some of these platforms a little hard, so you have to kind of control your forward momentum so that you don't go flying too far. And by the way, if you played Cyberhook, this should look a little bit familiar. And then we break the first of 3 servers. Now we go into phase 2 of this fight. Phase 2 is exactly the same as phase 1. The transition between phase 1 and phase 2, or phase 2 and phase 3 is going to be similar-ish to this. It's another like little mini game that you have to do between phases. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of damage to him during that that section, just because it'll make the final phase a little faster. And got him. Okay. Oh, shoot. Ah. See, the whole thing is you've soaked him, and he's electronic, so you're glitching him out, and that causes you to that causes him to kind of spaz out the way that he is. All right, now what's everybody's favorite animal? I have to ask, because my favorite animal is a wolf. Einstein. So in this section, we have to break 3 more servers. It's just another little mini game. That's the first server down. We have to break 3 servers, and that breaks one of the IRL servers. Now, this guy has a tendency to get in this doorway and block me, so let's hope he plays nice and RNG is in my favor, and he is very nice. He stayed out of the way. Break the last server, and just while we're waiting for this cutscene, we're going to go grab these 2 bits of armor, because why not? Free armor. And if we're lucky, he'll do grayscale here. Darn, he did large. All right, so he's doing the teleport. Now, the teleport phase is actually the preferred one because the teleport phase, when he's done with it, he stays very still like this, and lets me just hit him with a ton of water. When he does the running around, segment, he starts to summon drones, and drones are bad. We don't like drones. Drones cost us time. We want to avoid drones whenever we can. All right, he's doing a lot of neon, but not a lot of grayscale. I need grayscale, sir. Grayscale. Oh, and of course, he didn't do grayscale after I got neon, or supercharged, rather. Very frustrating. All right, now, what's everyone's favorite tool? Because mine is a hammer. I don't have a good video game reference for this one, so I just say the hammer thing. All right. Now we have to wait for... Okay, he's going to hit this platform, so we got to jump to the other platform. He's going to hit the thing. It's going to drop this down. All right, that was good. You want to ideally break all 4, or not all 4. 4 out of the 6 of them. He's hitting this platform again. And then you can hit the last 2 on the second phase, and that would be optimal. Now, I'm actually going to soak the ground here because this thing does give us a speed boost, and so we can hold forward. By the way, what's everybody's favorite first-person shooter franchise? Everybody tell me. What is your favorite first-person shooter franchise? Because for me, it's Call of Duty. I missed the interaction. Darn. Said fear. Fear's a good one. Fear's a good one. We do like fear. We stand fear 1 in this chat. All right. There's a bunch of cutscene story, blah, 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 blah. Swagman's on our side now. He's a good guy. And he's going to give us help and stuff as we go through the rest of the game. Don't focus too much on the story of this game. But we can have a dance party.
My gosh, what is this game? I am. He's mean. I'm sorry, I just had to get that one in there.
No, that's totally fine. All right, we're going into mission 9 now. We have to have a dance party. That's the best song on the soundtrack. All right. Now, mission 9 has a huge skip that skips not only a bunch of the level, but it also skips a 3-minute auto-scroller section. And when I say 3 minutes, I mean it's a literal 3-minute timer that you would otherwise have to do. Not fun, so we're going to skip that. Basically, we have to play through most of the level like you know, quote-unquote normal, up until we meet this enemy. We're gonna just go right by him. Don't worry about him. He's just fat guy in Speedo. We're gonna load checkpoint here. That's just to get rid of the guys that are behind us. Just makes things a little bit easier. Now, there's 2 ways to do this skip. There's the easy way and the hard way. The hard way is about 10 seconds faster, but it doesn't look as cool. So we're gonna do the easy way, because the easy way, it's slower, but it looks way cooler. We're gonna jump up here, death warp. Gonna land here, land here. Hopefully I get this right. I've been screwing this up in practice. We're going to ride. Oh, I missed it. Okay. Maybe we'll do the hard way instead. Basically, you jump onto that platform and you can, and you skip to the end of the level. We'll do the hard way, which is surprisingly actually not that hard. It's just, it doesn't look as flashy, so. The hard way, quote unquote, is you jump to here, you get underneath this, you jump to this platform, and this is where you would land otherwise. The other way is about 10 seconds slower, but that doesn't look as flashy as this does. And we're now at the end of the level. Oh, got one more phase. And that's the whole fight. And now we go into mission 10. Now, when we get to the end of mission 10, we're going to do another skip in mission 10. This is the jankiest skip in the entire game, and you will see what I mean. And then there's a section after the janky skip that is unfortunately like 3 minutes long, and you can't skip that one. But this level does also have another one of those 3-minute auto-scrollers, and we will be able to skip that, but we can't skip the extra 3-minute section. By the way, this is building skip, because it skips a building, and that saves 1 second. It's not really so much a skip as much as it is just a faster route. But when we get to that 3-minute section at the very end of the level, Mr. Host, you will have plenty of time to read off lots and lots of donations. Probably every donation since the event started, actually, because it's going to be a lot of combat. All right, so we get to here. We have to trigger this fight because there's no way to get over to there without lowering the helicopters, so we have to do that first. Where is... Oh, there you are. And got one more bit here, and that's the fight. All right, now we would normally have to do this fight, but if you jump to here and jump right down the side of this building, you can land out of bounds. And we are coming up on the janky part of this skip. This is called Gala Skip, and it's very, 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 very janky. We are going to drip clip into the door at this specific point. This one usually takes a bit. We're gonna jump. Oop, we're gonna jump. There we go. Do a crouch jump, crouch. We're gonna shoot the drip cannon until we fall through the floor. Uncrouch forward, scroll jump. Please, please, thank you. And that gets us to this platform. We have not found a better way to do that skip yet. Maybe there's one out there. We haven't found it. And this skips another 3-minute auto-scroller that gets us to here. Now, this is unfortunately not the end of the level. We still have to play to the end of the level. This section is more on rails than anything else. But basically, we are stuck in this car, and we are... Oop, come on. We have to use this cannon on the top of this car to shoot a bunch of pins to get the larger enemies, these guys, and we have tie-dye bombs for the drab enemies that are, like, you know, grayed out and whatnot. So, Mr. Host, if you got things to read, now's your chance, because we're going to be doing this for a good long while.
Well, I'd be certainly glad to, considering we just got a $4.2 donation from Blaine that simply says heart. That's all that there actually is in terms of the donations for now, but I do suppose that since we are pretty close to, I don't know, reaching $1,000, I'd say, I don't know, something donation train. I mean, hey, we already rode a train, but I like trains. I say there's always room for more trains. Chat, you all know what to do. There's !donate if you'd like to go to our Tiltify page, and this would be a good time to remind you that while we do not have any bid wars or donation incentives open at this point, we do have our rewards as well, where we do have some code giveaways from a couple of developers that we have, particularly Riser Games and New Blood Interactive Games. So if you'd like to enter in any of these giveaways, just be sure to input the minimum required $10 into your donation total, and then you can select the reward with you. Now, keep in mind, if you would like to apply to both, that doesn't mean you will have to do 2 separate donations, but you can tie any minimum fitting donation into that reward of your choice. And I mean, hey, I do recall that New Blood Interactive Games is responsible for the Faith trilogy. So if you who knows, you just might win yourself a free ticket to Mortis. I mean, nice. Yeah, I anything can happen if you're willing to give it a go. But of course, it's going to a wonderful cause. As don't forget, we are raising money for To Write Love on Her Arms, which is a non-profit movement dedicated to presenting hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. TWLOHA exists to encourage, inform, inspire, and invest directly into treatment and recovery. And you'll need to know that rescue is possible. Freedom is possible. They're seeing it happen. People sitting across from a counselor for the first time, people stepping into treatment in desperate moments, people calling a suicide hotline. We know the first step towards recovery is the hardest to take, but we want to say that it's worth it. Your life is worth fighting for. It's possible to change. So thank you for contributing to this wonderful cause. And look at that, we just hit $1,000. Let's go!
Let's go! I knew you could do it, chat. I believe.
Oh! Heck yes!
Very nice.
Alright, that was all thanks to a $40 anonymous donation simply stating, "I like trains." Brrr.
Very nice.
I love that line. We also had our wonderful Mash, the last runner, donate $10 saying, "Thank you for having me. Hope you enjoyed Booba. Let's get to 1K.
Oh, I missed it, darn. Alrighty, so if you hit this ball at just the right angle, hole in one, let's go. Oh, I forgot this cutscene plays if you get this hole in one. Okay. We have to take the time out to get the hole in one for the memes, but it is slower and we don't do that in normal runs. Alright, now we did that drip clip at the beginning of the level and that skipped almost the whole thing. So now we're here, we just have to very quickly dispatch these last few enemies during this fight. And this is the level where you actually acquire this weapon that I'm using. However, you only have a limited amount of ammo for it, and so you have to kind of make choices about what you want to use it on, and what groups of enemies. Oop, there we go. I hit space, but I guess it didn't register. And that takes us into mission 12. And mission 12 is by far and away the longest mission in the game. Even as a speed run, it's like the longest one. And if you don't count boss fights, which I don't count boss fights for that. Luckily, we have a skip. So we're going to do another drip clip right here. Death warp into the lava. And that skipped probably 70% of the level just now. Maybe even more than that. You have to run around, get a bunch of key cards. It's a whole thing. But instead, we just do a couple drip clips and we land right here. Now, this is a very long platforming section that is unfortunately unskippable because this functions as the loading zone for the last section of the level. So there is no way to skip this, unfortunately. But at the very least, platforming is cool, and there's a little bit of a skill ceiling to have to smack into if you're going to do this part well. And yes, we are bouncing off of inner tubes and gaining a tremendous amount of height from them. Now, if I fall, I'm gonna go back a long ways because I skipped the checkpoint platform. All right, cool. So we land here, we hit another checkpoint. Now, some of these nodes are actually really hard to grab because they're really far away, and it's very, very easy to miss them. We've kind of lucked out with hitting all of the ones that we have. This is actually going to end up being a perfect platforming section if I don't miss any of these inner tubes. Or rafts. What do you call these? Rafts. It's a raft. It's a raft. We'll call it a raft. Now, if you've ever taken a cruise, you'll be able to answer this question. What does every cruise ship need? If you said a ski resort, why would you say that? That's a weird answer, and yet there's a ski resort here. So there's supposed to be a fight here, but we can crouch into this corner and just aim the drip cannon down. We can do a drip clip. We usually get hit by a little bit of fire. That's pretty normal. Neon Guy sometimes hits us there too. And we are now heading into the very end of the level, like the very last fight. What we're gonna do, pull out the wardrobe, fire, and that was that whole phase. Done. All right. 2 more rockets should take this phase out. 2 more for this phase. And now this particular ball of enemies right here, you have to actually wait a second, because if you shoot too early and defeat them all, you will soft lock the game, and you have to reload checkpoints. And we are now in the very last level. This is a fast run. I was not kidding. All right, now the final boss, like the character that we met in mission 5, where this cutscene kind of broke and we slid away, his name was Arton Cut. But Arton Cut is an anagram for turncoat. Now this fight's normally actually pretty long, casually, but with the rocket launcher, this goes pretty quick. Let me focus real quick.
Let's switch it up.
Oh, I missed. The timing is really precise on that.
I'm not finished yet.
See if we can get this one instead. Got him. All right. And now there's a story thing. This is the first time you're going to see the Fab Slap, and normally it acts like the Berserk from 2016, but in this case, we're going to use it on Arton Cut, and oh my god, we can't use it! It's impossible! There's a story reason for this. I don't remember. He invented it, something. It won't be used on its creator. I don't remember. The point is that we're now turned into one of those dull enemies from the beginning of the game. So we have to defeat ourselves. This is us. Our name is Desmond, by the way. I never said that. We have to throw briefcases. Oh, there he is. We have to throw briefcases at ourselves, and that's how we beat this section. And you're supposed to spam space in order to build up stamina. However, I have space bound to the scroll wheel, so I could just scroll the scroll wheel nice and easy, refill stamina really fast. All right, where did he go? All right. And now we're going to turn into the second enemy of the game, which is the Neon Bra. And I call this section Tony Hawk's Pro Scooter. You have to earn a bunch of points in order to progress this phase. I was visually and visibly and loudly angry about this section when I played it on when I played my casual playthrough of this. But we have to earn 10,000 points and defeat the 4 Dezes in the arenas. So we're going to try to land on this one to make for optimal timing. And we have to take turncoat down one more time. And he's going to infest us again. However, oh my goodness, someone got in the way! I'm really over-dramatizing this. It's not that interesting story-wise. But the point is that something happens, and he turns into the Guardian from The Evil Within 2. If you play The Evil Within 2, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so now he's got this covering that is blocking his, it's like, you know, totally blocking the ability to hit him. So we have to wait for these attacks to cycle through. Now you can only damage him on this part with the rocket launcher. But there's a limited amount of ammo for this gun in new game, like a new game file. So how do you get around that? Like if you have a limited amount of ammo and you can only damage him with the ammo from this, well, the way around that is Haley, one of our ancillary characters that we've been skipping all of her dialogue, she drops boxes for us. Now we have to bounce up here off of these pin cushions. Now if I can get this optimally, I can actually finish this fight right now. Oh, he knocked me off, darn. Alright, not a big deal, we just have to wait for the next set of pin cushions to get dropped. Oh yeah, this gun, by the way, I don't think I mentioned, is called the BFG. The Big Fashionable Gun. At least that's what they tried to call it, and one of the characters said they didn't like that, and so they renamed it to the Wardrobe. If you thought you were going to get a serious game, you thought wrong. Alright, more pin cushions. Maybe we can finish this right now, if he doesn't damage boost me off. Oops. Very nice. Alright, so we fall down here, we death warp, and time is coming up right... Well, it's coming up in a second. We have to wait for the cutscene. We skip the dialogue here, and time is... now! Time! GG's. Not a bad run at all. Not a bad run at all. Just so you all know, Mission 12 was a gold split, apparently. That's pretty cool. But this was about 2 minutes off of my PB. It's actually a little bit of a slower run. Granted, a big chunk of that was... But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the memery of this run. I have to give a bunch of shout outs. Number one, first and foremost, I gotta give a big shout out to Divine, who is one of my VIPs, and kind of helped me route and find all the skips for this run. Divine basically routed like 85% of this run like by himself. And I think I routed like another 14%, and the last 1% was like little random bits and bobs we found from videos on the internet. So Divine did the lion's share of the routing for this, and he just showed me all the skips and was like, okay, here you go, do them. And I was like, okay. And then I started doing all the skips. So I got to give a huge shout out to Divine. I got to give a huge shout out to Onirix, Sam Montenegro, one of my other VIPs, who helped make the ASL for this game, the loader remover. He made the trainer and like all the tools and everything. He's a game dev by trade, and so he was able to like basically just open up the game and hack and slashed it until he made the trainer for this. And so a huge shout out to Sam for being able to make all these tools, because he was like, hey, can I help with this? And I was like, have you ever written an ASL before? And he's like, oh no, but I could figure it out. And I think it was like less than 10 hours later, he had a working ASL. Like he had already figured out like script writing language and had written an ASL. The guy's a beast. And I got to give a shout out to all the people in chat that's like all the people in my chat that's come and watch the stream and watch me do these runs all the time. Thank you all so much. And I got to give a shout out to everybody in this chat as well here at HIG 2022. Thank you for watching. I got to shout out Kuno for having me do 4 runs for this event. And having me on the hosting desk. I gotta say thank you, Kuno, for that. And yeah, we got 2 more runs left for this event. We got Koldeka, and I don't remember the last game, but it's another good one, I'm sure, because we only have good games here at Horrible Games. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of this run, I stream at twitch.tv/danejerus. If you liked Fashion Police Squad or any of the other runs that I've been doing over the course of the whole weekend, I do a bunch of them there. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and enjoy the remainder of the marathon.
Thank you very much, Dane. And before we send you off, I did have one other donation that did come in from Westy Wind, giving $5, saying, "Mods, get Chat Dane's credit card so we can donate."
Nice, thanks, Westy.
Alright, stay tuned, y'all. We got Kinda Big Deal 44 coming up with Koldeka any %, so stay tuned. It's gonna be a long one.